One of our partners at Mercury and GBTV is Howard Gordon. You probably know him best as the co-creator of the TV show 24. He is he just won a Golden Globe for Best TV Drama, Homeland, which is a TV series I have not seen yet, but I hear, we talked about it this morning, guys on the staff said it's absolutely amazing. He worked with The X-Files, Spencer for Hire, and also he is working with us on some upcoming GBTV projects. He wrote the book Gideon's War, and now the follow-up book called Hard Target, hero Gideon Davis trying to stop a domestic terrorist attack. Why all the hate for people who are trying to plan domestic terrorist attacks? Why all the hate, Howard? Really, seriously.
Well, I think it's one of the great ironies that you disagree with what the government's doing, but there's certainly a line. And I think the irony in this book is that Gideon's and his brother have both been marginalized by a government they've done nothing but, and a country they've done nothing but serve, or by the government of a country they've done nothing but serve. And Gideon gets wind of this attack and has to go save the same people who are trying to exile him.
Let me ask you, because this is a recurring theme. This is really the kind of a recurring theme with Jack Bauer. That I mean, I think Jack had as much trouble with the bad guys as he had with the bureaucrats and his bosses. So I think that's a. What is it that fascinates you about that?
Well, it fascinates me because it's so true to life. I think we all have to navigate, some of our work situations with, we have to deal with fools. We have to deal with people who are caught up in looking out for themselves rather than in doing their jobs. And so, traditionally too, we want to put your hero with his back against the wall, as many ways as you can. Are you enough of a scholar of television or I'm a scholar
movies?
Of nothing. I'm a scholar of nothing.
No. But are you enough of a? You have had to have done some homework in the past. I guess some people don't do this, but being able to track back, has it always been the stories that were like that? Because I remember growing up where the government wasn't the bad guy. Ephraim Zimbalist Jr. didn't and I'm up against the boss too at the FBI.
It's a great question. I think and I got to say the government per se isn't the bad guy here. And make as monolithic a statement as that. There are just some people who, for political reasons, have pushed Guy aside. But I think in a way this is a pretty hopeful book about the government, and because it's obviously an institution worth preserving in this. In this case, Gideon, though nothing but bad things have come of it, still has this belief that it can be better.
I don't know if you got my note after you won the Golden Globe. It was probably lost in a stack of stuff, but
no, I didn't. I know your assistant asked for my address. I haven't gotten it. Even the mail's a little slow.
Oh well.
Tell me what it said.
It basically says, it takes a real artist to be able to have your opinion and still get awards from the people who hate people with your opinion.
Yes, I got it. I got what you're saying.
How did you pull that off? I
like to think. Look, in 24. Barbara Streisand liked the show as much as Antonin Scalia. So it was. I think it became kind of a Rorschach test. People kind of tend to see what they want to see sometimes in something. And
but they
don't. At the end of the day, look. My job here isn't. I'm not here to sort of. I think that one of the secrets of a good anything is to not make it propaganda. Just make it good.
And right. And then make it. And Doctor Who isn't exactly real, but make it as real as you possibly can.
Right. Exactly.
Truthful.
Exactly.
Truthful. Everybody's
I think that's really what. Yeah, you can't pass off anything less than truthful to people.
We're working with you on some ideas for GBTV, and I'm anxious to see what you guys are.
Yeah, we're excited to show them to you. I think that's happening any day now. We're working
so
with
you're
your guys.
just
They've been
teasing me?
terrific.
I mean, here we have the co-creator of 24 and everything. You're just teasing me?
Well, let me correct you too. But I actually didn't co-create. That was Joel Cerno and Bob Cochran. I just came on early. I was on the first episode after the pilot. I did co-create Homeland, though.
Homeland, I haven't seen, but my producers watch it and are addicted to it and say it is absolutely fantastic. And again, it's a government person looking in and trying to stop somebody who's in the government. Might have been turned, right?
Yeah, yes, and yes, exactly. And everyone, it borrows. It really is sort of, I think, a next generation of some of the movies like The Conversation and some of the great thrillers from the 70s. It is sort of the next step of that.
What is I think you're one of the only people that I know that is as active in the production of television and then books, et cetera, et cetera. You don't write a book and then turn it into a TV show. It's a separate storyline. What is the difference?
Really
Why are you doing the two of them?
Well, for me, the number of people. I mean, you're a maverick. I admire what you've done, and what you're doing with GBTV. It's remarkable. But for a guy like me who is in essentially the studio system, I have to answer to a lot of people. I have to negotiate with actors. Why would my character say that? And a studio telling me I can't do this for whatever reason, and censors and standards and practices. A book was just a way for me to, kind of a palate cleanser.
Is there a difference working for doing Homeland and 24?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, the idea of not first of all, it's half as much. I can't tell you what that was like. That was pretty much my entire 40s. My head was in that story. This is 12 stories, and you get a sense of the end. You can sort of see across the shore that you're traveling, the distance that you're traveling from shore to shore. Whereas in 24, you just sort of set out on the voyage and hoped you'd packed enough provisions to get to the other side. And plus, there's some content that I can do that I couldn't have done on broadcast. And the most important thing, frankly, is the commercials. Not having to build up to these artificial act breaks and keep people across. Yeah,
I'm good friends with Brad Thor and Vince Flynn, and I mean some of the great fiction writers. They are always driven. I always whenever they're in town or we get a chance to see each other, we always sit down, we have dinner, and they're always they've done their homework for their book, and they're convinced that this really needs this one piece of this book that I found out during research. This is the one thing that everybody needs to know. Do you feel that way when you write the books?
I can't say I do. I mean, to me, every book is is a process, and if I were to talk about the essential truth of this book, it really is about people sort of finding out what it means for them to be an American. I know that sounds general, and I guess in the case, I know Vince and Brad's work really well, and those guys are among my heroes. I think they're just fantastic, and they're at the top of their game. And I would scarcely consider myself in their company, and certainly in the book writing world. But for me, it's that exploration of what it means to be an American, and not just in America, but in the world.
So what does it mean?
Well, it means that we are. I don't want to get into the whole thing about American exceptionalism, because I know but I do think that America is a value proposition that's valuable for the world to emulate. It's one of the only. It's a great idea. This country, for all its flaws, there are some great ideas behind it.
You have written some. I mean, your books, your shows are, they have some really apocalyptic problems in them. How real is this stuff to you? How real is the terrorist threat and the what we're dealing with and the trouble with the government and weasels being in the government, not being involved, not paying attention, or as in the case of Homeland, somebody being turned?
I think that's I think it's more interesting, kind of as a war. It's a cautionary tale more than something that I'm truly concerned about having happen. But it is something that I think that in giant bureaucracies, people are managing up and managing sideways and not keeping their eye on the ball, and it's hard to. I think the threat is real. There's the world's getting, and the threat's not going away. It's getting increasingly complex to hold on to it and to figure out what to do about it.
Are you down with the big whole Arab Spring? You think that's a...
Again, I'm one of these guys, and I think I've probably separated these two sides of my personality. In my books, I have these two brothers. One is a peace negotiator, and he's a talker. He happens to be very good with a gun and with his fists, but he's also a guy who'd rather talk his way out of something. And his brother is a guy who'd rather shoot first. I think that expresses sort of this schizophrenic, frankly, the schizophrenic opinion that I have. I think we basically have to have a very big stick, and I think we have to have a very big carrot also.
I don't think he answered the question. This guy Howard, you could run for president. I don't think you answered
What's the question? Rephrase the question. It's early for me.
I don't even remember the question, but I like your answer. I don't even remember the question. All right. The name of the book is Hard Target, the follow-up of Gideon's War with Gideon Davis, trying to stop a terrorist attack. Howard Gordon is one of the best storytellers out there today, and you know his work. And this is a great read, Hard Target, by Howard Gordon. Pick it up. Available in bookstores everywhere. What, today? Does it go out today?
It goes out, came out last week.
Last week, okay.
But it's available today.
Thank you very much. It was only available last week. Sorry we missed it. No. Thanks a lot, Howard.
Hey, Glenn, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
You got it, man.
Good luck with GBTV.
Thank you. See you soon. He's I think we have the answer on how he won the Golden Globe.
He's smart.
He's very smart.
Yeah,
he's very, very smart.
Yeah, because what he said was completely true, completely accurate,
and you can't really argue with it.
Right?
You're kind of like, well, okay, and then you see his writing.
Because it's kind of a statement like this.
A cat can give birth to kittens in the oven. That don't make them biscuits.
What? Wait. What did you just say, Howard?
What was
A cat can give birth to kittens in the oven. That don't make them biscuits.
Okay.
Well, it's true.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I guess you're right.
You're right.
Yeah, all right.
A cat can give birth to kittens in an oven.
Don't make them biscuits.
You're right.
You can't argue with that.
Right.
There's no argument with that.
Perfect logic.
You're done.
And it's so amazing. I mean, that's how this guy has, is with Kiefer Sutherland and, with HBO, and he's doing all of these great things, and he's telling these stories. Nobody told a story like 24. Do you agree?
Oh, yeah. Fantastic.
Nobody told that kind of story.
Yeah.
Nobody is telling the story, as I understand it, from like Homeland.
Yeah.
Nobody's telling that story.
I got to get on board with that show. Everybody I talk to loves it. Thinks it's the way it's been described to me over and over and over again is it's the new 24, and it's even better.